Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.
धन्यवाद उमा देवी की जय. Sorry I'm late. A little hard to
Yes, okay.
be on time.
No problem. How are you, Maharaj?
I am very happy when I see you. We are every month we are receiving your contribution for running programs. Your mercy.
No, Maharaj, everything for Krishna, nothing for me.
Sir, in your service. You're always asking how you can serve, and you are always serving so nicely. Huh? Can you find Bhagavad Gita 1854? Everything okay for you there in India?
Yes, Maharaj, by your mercy, everything okay, Maharaj.
Going on nicely?
Everything okay, Maharaj, yes.
Good. If you go to Navadvip,
Yes, Maharaj.
if you go to Navadvip, you can visit Bhakti Prapatirtha Maharaj
Prapanna Tirtha Maharaj, in Navadvip.
in Navadvip.
Oh, okay.
He has his new temple and
Uh,
Sri Chaitanya Sridhar
Ashram.
Ashram. Sri Chaitanya Sridhar.
okay. That one in Mayapur or where is Maharaj?
Navadvip.
Navadvip.
Navadvip. Okay. Same like Narsingapalli, close or very far?
Huh?
She's asking if it's close to Nrsimhapalli.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Didi, I'll send you the link to the Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Please.
Here's my good god brother, and
Okay.
I know him from the first time I was there at the Mutt in Mars, but he was also there with me as sannyasi,
Okay.
a very good and pure soul.
Prapanna Tirtha Maharaj. What's the name, Maharaj?
Yes, Prapanatirtha.
Okay.
Much love for him,
Mm.
much love between us. Is okay. Now we begin.
Yes, I'm just sending this link to Uma Devi.
Can I have my glasses? Thank you.
Krishna Keshav Prabhu ji is doing lot of service, Maharaj.
What did she say?
She said that Krishna Keshava is a very fallen soul and he needs your mercy so much.
I'd say that. He's very steady. Very nice, very kind to me.
Like Krishna coming to like Krishna Keshav Prabhu.
Yes, we must always remember that the sign of Krishna consciousness is love. When there's love, then we know Krishna consciousness is there. When there is no love, when it's all authority, and rules and regulations. That is not love. So far above all that authority and rules and this and that, and knowledge even, above knowledge and above authority, there we find Krishna consciousness in the land of love. Vrindavan means the land of love. Love is the land of the heart, not of the mind, not of the intelligence. Huh? Within this material world, the material world comes from earth and water and fire and all these, and then mind, intelligence, and then ego. Yeah? And all these things are left behind in the transcendental world.
Yeah, if you put the link in the notes of your Google Calendar.
And the highest plane of transcendental world is the plane of love.
I'll send it.
And if we can reach that plane, then we are finding our highest aspiration. Anything less than that we should not accept. That is not our aim, not our purpose can't be found in those lower levels. The highest level we must seek is love, and that cannot be pretended, and not a pretense. Real love is not a pretense; it's spontaneous, and it can't be stopped, and it can't be interfered with by anything lower, and it can't be stimulated by anything other than the genuine heart feelings. Such important thing. So many people teaching this and that, and saying this and that, even about Krishna. They may be saying so many things, but if that love is not there, what we are seeking, that Krishna prema, if that is not there, then what is the use of all that talk? All these things is a waste of time. May seem like it's important. It may seem like it's talking about that highest thing, but it doesn't reach there. Huh? Doesn't reach. Tulasi.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Hi, Vol.
Ki Jai.
Great to see you.
Tulsi is spelled with an A.
Yes, I have to fix that. Krishna Keshava told me last week. I have to fix that. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ki Jai.
Jai.
So today I want to speak about the some a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. We were just saying that Krishna consciousness is there above authority and above knowledge. The plane of Krishna consciousness lies far above all those things. And the platform of love, Krishna Prem. We're not aiming for knowledge. We're not even aiming for surrender. We're aiming for love. When Mahaprabhu was talking with Ramananda Rai, and Ramananda Rai said, the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita is Sarvadharmam Parityaja, surrender to me, Krishna is telling. And Mahaprabhu said, no, that's something external. That is something really external. People are striving to surrender to Krishna and are preaching, surrender to me, surrender to Guru, surrender to this, That is not Mahaprabhu's teachings. His teachings is love. He could not be satisfied until he came to Ramananda Roy, explained something about the Gyan Shunya Bhakti. Bhakti or love that is beyond knowledge, beyond intellect, beyond authority. These are all things, authority and whatnot, is related to the material world. Even surrender means to give up some sense of control over this material energy. So giving that up, control up, is a matter of material consideration. But the plane of love divine, that is a spontaneous platform. There's nothing that can stimulate that, and nothing that can stop that. Hoitukiya pratiyata. So I wanted to say about that. Bhagavad Gita 1854. Brahma-bhuta prasanatma, no sochati na kankshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu, madbhaktim labhate param. Brahma-bhuta prasanatma. Translation. Other translation. One who is transcendently situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Purport. So Brahma-bhuta. Brahma means spirit, Brahma. In our English, we say spirit. In the Sanskrit, we say Brahma. Brahman. Brahman means spirit. So Brahma-bhuta. Bhuta means an entity, living entity. So the Brahma-bhuta means the spiritual living entity. So when it achieves the Brahma-bhuta stage, it means he understands that he's a spiritual entity, not a material entity. One who reaches the Brahma-bhuta platform realizes his own spiritual nature. I explained before that the confused person, the bewildered, the ignorant living entity, he thinks himself to be the body, like animals. Animals are completely absorbed in the body as a self. And the human being also, when they become bewildered by the material world, material energy, they think themselves to be the body. But the learned person, the person who has received some mercy, either from hearing from the spiritual master or from by divine mercy of the Lord, they understand that they are not the body but the consciousness within. You take away the consciousness, and then you have merely the body. This is not spiritual. The body is not spiritual. but the consciousness of the body. The consciousness is who the self is. The body is changing and the consciousness is also changing. But that identity of the self, when we say I, in order to say I, the consciousness has to be aware of itself. It's ordinarily consciousness aware of something else. So we become aware of the body. But when the consciousness becomes aware that it's there, that is consciousness is there, and then it becomes aware of itself, and then we can say I. I means self-consciousness. I means when the subject makes himself the object of himself. The asad means the consciousness makes the consciousness its object. And then he says I. It's called self-consciousness. So he's saying at this stage, the brahma-bhuta stage, when recognizes the conscious self, he becomes one with the Absolute. He then realizes that that plane is different from the material identification, because everyone is there at that level of brahma-bhuta. They have that. Every living entity has that within them, but not all are aware of that. This is the problem. The plants and the animals and other human beings, they're not all aware of what they really are. They become identified with the material self and don't recognize their own real self. So once we come to that platform, then we can understand that that is the background. That is the fundamental reality of which we are all a part. The spiritual background. And that totality of spiritual background is called the Absolute. That background which is everyone, which is part of everyone, and which everyone is part of. That is called the Absolute. And that background is also conscious and self-conscious. And the self-consciousness of the totality is called Krishna. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we are all part and parcel of that. Just like each body, we see ourselves as part of the material universe. In the spiritual realm, we see ourselves as part and parcel of the Supreme Conscious totality, or Krishna consciousness. But for the personalist, or pure devotee, one has to go still further to become engaged in pure devotional service. So here Prabhupada is making a distinction between those who reach that platform, brahma-bhuta platform, and are impersonalists, and those who reach that platform and are personalists. The impersonalists think that once you reach that platform of consciousness, then it's all just consciousness. There's nothing else. There's no activity, no other differentiation. It's all just one plane of consciousness, and one undifferentiated plane of consciousness, and they think that is the highest thing. But Prabhupada is explaining here, but there's another type of realization by the Vaishnavas who understand that plane of consciousness does not erase all differences. There are differences there, but it's differences of conscious persons. We're all persons, conscious persons in that platform. Not that the differences are only these bodies. In the material world, we see differences only. This big bodies, small bodies, white bodies, black bodies, human bodies, animal bodies. we see everything different in terms of the bodies. And so when we come to the plane of consciousness, we may think, oh, everyone is conscious, then all are the same. No, the consciousness is different also. There are gradations of consciousness. So everything is different in that higher plane. And those differences have a different meaning though. They're all conscious, but they're all different. The difference of consciousness has a different significance there because it's on a higher stage of reality. In that plane of differences, there's relation. There's relations. Without difference, there's no relation. If everyone is the same, then what is the question of relation? It's only when there's differences, then there's relation. But what type of relation is that? That is personal relation. And those relationships reach their perfection when they are based upon love. So the one who becomes one who is Krishna consciousness, they understand the relationship is to be devoted or lovingly subordinate, lovingly serving one another, and most importantly, loving servants of the center, the central, supreme figure of Krishna. So then then the process of bhakti yoga becomes significant. This means that the one who engaged in pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord is already in a state of liberation called brahma-bhuta, oneness with the Absolute. Without being one with the Supreme, the Absolute, one cannot render service unto him. In the Absolute conception, there's no difference between the service and the servitors, yet the distinction is there in a higher spiritual sense. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us Jivera Swarapoi Krishna Nitidas. The Jiva means the living entity, human living entity. He is the eternal servant of Krishna, a supreme conscious being. So one who engages at this level, even at the level of material life, even from this material standpoint, if one can take his life and engage it in this process of bhakti yoga, the practice of bhakti yoga, just like we see some people are practicing yoga of dhyana and pranayama and things like that. They're sitting and practicing yoga in a particular position and pose. Similarly, the devotees, they take this life, this body, whatever they have, and engage it in the process of bhakti yoga, devotional service. And what happens? They will realize all these things, become situated on the brahma-bhuta platform, the conscious platform, the conscious world. And they will render their service in a personal, loving way with Krishna and with the other living entities, souls. Brahma-bhuta prasanatma. Prasanatma means who can reach that platform. They become very peaceful, prasanatma, very joyful. Their hearts rejoice in that position because they are freed from all this stress and anxiety that comes along with material relations, bodily relations. They're very stressful, they're disappointing, frustrating, full of pain and misery, just like we can see In the old age, the body becomes racked with pain and disease. And that platform, not very happy. Birth, death, old age, and disease have to be faced by every living entity of this material world. But in the spiritual platform, conscious platform, they're not beset by those problems. So he becomes prasanatma, being very joyful, joyfully situated, with a joyful platform of not beset by the problems of temporality, but the eternal platform where there's all those problems don't exist. We can become diseased, we can become sick on the bodily platform, but on the spiritual platform, we are the consciousness of those things. Those things are not who we are. We are conscious of those things in the body, but the consciousness itself doesn't become affected by that. So prasanatma, brahma-bhuta prasanatma. And what is the first thing he says? Nasochati, nakangshati. Nasochati means he doesn't lament or feel sorrowful. Time changes. There's no time there because time is only for things that are temporary. In a plane where there's no change, in the plane where everything remains steady, eternal, there's no change in that sense. There's change, but it is not temporal change. It's transcendental change, transcendental difference, absolute difference. And as Prabhupada explained, absolute difference is not different from absolutely the same. Unconceivable to the living entity of the material mentality. But these contradictions are possible in the spiritual platform to accommodate. So nasochati nakangshati means that he doesn't have any lamentation, sorrow for things that happen, nasochati nakangshati, nor anxiety about things that will happen in the future, because everything is happening within the eternal present. There is always present the spiritual presence, the transcendental nature of the spiritual is that it is always happening spontaneously. It doesn't have, not connected with past and future. Only fully focused upon the present, eternal present. Nasochati, nakangshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu, then he says, Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Sama means equally. Sarveshu means all. And bhuteshu. He sees equally all living entities. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. He sees that all living entities are just like him, eternal, spiritual beings. And then Krishna says at the end, Mad bhaktim labhate param. Says, who can come to that platform? Who can become peaceful, living wholly within the present, serving wholly his whole energy directed solely to him, and who sees all living entities as spiritual beings who are also servants of that Supreme Person, who can maintain that mentality, that mood, that understanding within them. Said Mad Bhaktim. They are Krishna's bhaktas. Mad Bhakti means my devotees. Labhate para means those are my devotees, and they are the ones who come to me. They are the ones that come to me, who can come to that platform and remain fixed in that platform. There, Krishna identifies them. You are not ordinary person. You are my devotees. They have the qualification for coming to Krishna. So this explains not the highest plane, but the plane of the liberated souls, those who are liberated in the personal conception of Krishna consciousness. Is explaining that stage here. Then, in a higher stage of entrance into the devotional land, the land of devotional service, that is called the pastimes and the Leela of the Lord, and that is the highest perfection of that liberated stage. What else? Is there more to that purport?
There was, yeah.
So, and this is in the material concept of life. When one works for sense gratification, there's misery, but in the absolute world, when one is engaged in pure devotional service, there's no misery. The devotee in Krishna consciousness had nothing for which to lament or desire, since God is in full a living entity who is engaged in God's service in Krishna consciousness becomes also full in himself. He is just like a river cleansed of all dirty water, because a pure devotee has no thought other than Krishna, and he is naturally always joyful. He does not lament for any material loss or aspire for any gain, because he is full in his service of the Lord. He has no desire for material enjoyments, because he knows that every living entity is a fragmented part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and therefore eternally a servant. He does not see in the material world someone as higher and someone as lower. Higher and lower positions are ephemeral, and a devotee has nothing to do with ephemeral appearances or disappearances. For him, stone and gold are of the same value. Thus, in the brahma-bhuta stage, and this stage is attained very easily by the pure devotee. In that stage of existence, the idea of becoming one with the Supreme Brahman and annihilating one's individuality becomes hellish. The idea of attaining the heavenly kingdom becomes phantasmagoria, and the senses are like serpents whose poisonous teeth are broken. And there is no fear of a serpent with broken teeth. There is no fear from the senses when they are automatically controlled. The world is miserable for the materially infected person, but for a devotee, the entire world is as good as Vaikuntha, or the spiritual sky. The highest personality in this material universe is no more significant than an ant for a devotee. Such stage can be achieved by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who preached pure devotional service in this age of Kali. So, Prabhupada, such a high platform of realization, and explaining these things so clearly to us. Tattva darshan. Tattva darshan means one who can see the truth. One who can see the truth. they can explain it very clearly to us also. When you're looking at something, you can explain it very, very nicely to another. But if you don't see that, then, or you only see it vaguely, then it's very difficult to explain it. But a pure devotee whose heart is freed from all material contamination, pure means freed from material influence. What goes on that platform can actually see the transcendental reality. And they explain that to us so that we can also, by hearing them, we can also learn how to see that world that always existed, but has become, because of our forgetfulness of all these, of our spiritual nature, we have forgotten all these things. So Satchidananda, our real eternal nature, is Satchidananda, eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. What we really are has all these qualities there. We are eternally blissful. Amrita Putra. Amrita Putra means sons of nectar. We belong to the nectarian world, but because we have turned our attention away from that spiritual identity, we have wound up in a material world of misery. So again, by hearing about our true nature, this is the role of Guru. Guru means who teaches us about what we have forgotten, about our true nature, and how to come again back to that. There we find Guru. And he may appear in any way, any number of forms, or any method that brings us back to that realization. We put our head there as Guru. So our only responsibility is to hear, try to understand, try to live according to those principles. That is the perfect thing we can do with our lives. To try to serve those who are propagating that message. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
No, I have to stop. Does anyone have any questions? Okay.
I think
Okay. My appreciation, my love to you all coming, letting me talk about Krishna, encouraging me to remember Krishna myself and to talk about him.
We appreciate you having us here today, Maharaj, and so happy that you can do this.
Thank you, dear. The lovely mother of Krishna Kesava Prabhu. Very sweet.
As you are very sweet yourself, his guide, his guru. I just love the relationship you have. I know I've said that before, and I'm very, very happy that you have each other. And like I said, a very symbiotic relationship, help each other, and it's beautiful.
Yes, you also so much help you are giving in preaching, even though you are not learned in all these topics. Somehow, spontaneously from your heart, you're doing so much service. This is real Gyan Shunya Bhakti.
It's it's absolutely a pleasure to help and serve, and whatever we can do to continue is what we want to do. So, and we'll be there tomorrow
Yes,
in Princeton. So,
Bosa distribution.
it's most Sadhu.
Madhu.
hmm yes.
Our dear Uma Devi also, we appreciate you so much. Always wishing the greatest spiritual blessings for you and your family.
Thank you, Maharaj. Everything your mercy, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Mhm.
I know you have to go through so many difficulties. But Krishna knows the difficulties and give you a great his
It's not difficult, Maharaj. Not difficult, Maharaj. Like not like Pralan Maharaj, not like Vibhishan. Vibhishan, no. You don't have any problem if you remember that one.
good way to see it.
And Tulsi Maharani Devi Dasi, like Sumitra Devi, Mahabharata, Ramayana. In Ramayana, Sumitra, mother of Lakshmana, he telling to do service Ramayana, sending forest. Like
Yeah.
this Krishna came. Mm.
Jai.
When I see Tulsi Maharani Devi Dasi, then I remember Sumitra Devi.
Jai.
Mm.
Very nice.
I think there's some summary, Maharaj, or some notes. Would you like to hear some notes from the Sangha?
No.
If you like. No?
All right, I think I have to stop now.
Okay.
Aw.
Next time we will speak again with you. My humble Dandavat Pranams. Jai Gurudev.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Vishnavindu.
Jai Gurudev. Dandavat.
Jai Vishwapad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
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 Ball.
Haribol.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam Didi.
It is.